Hello everybody, it's your favorite rambling redhead. How are you today? It's it's fall apparently. I decided overnight. It's at like 75 at 11 o'clock in the morning. The sun is behind some clouds. Kind of looks like it's gonna rain, but it's not. And it feels great out here. We picked up our Walmart order this morning, and my teenager did a phenomenal job of stacking it neatly in the backyard so that I can cut it. And yeah, so we're gonna get that second wall up today, and maybe we'll get some drywall on it. I don't know. I got to figure out exactly how I want to cut it all, because that room and that beam slopes and pitches and yaws, and it does everything under the sun. But I think I'm probably just going to build the wall so that it's the height of the lowest point. Um, put it up, since I will still have plenty of material to put a spacer in there. It's about an inch and a quarter difference from one end to the other, but it kind of dips in the middle, so I couldn't just, I guess I could build the wall in place. That's an option as well. Putting up the header, putting down the footer, and then cutting each individual board in the middle to make it, an exactly perfect size. I don't know, that might be what I have to do. Otherwise, I'll have to put a little bit of a spacer on one end of it to butt that top up just right. So I don't know. I'll think about that after I eat lunch. But we've moved the chicken coop, so they are eating breakfast, and you'll notice Rubber, my big fat duck there. He is standing up and walking around, which is great news. I drained his pool this morning so that I can not kill that grass and I can move it out of the way. So I'll get that put away. I guess I'll fill up their water. But we've actually moved them so that they are now at the gate to my wife's garden. We started a ton of seeds earlier this year, and they just did not take. So we ended up with, I think, maybe it was four. No, we took 3 tomato plants that we planted, and 2 of them actually ended up producing anything. So this was last year for this garden. We're going to go to a different raised bed option. This one hasn't worked out for us, and just been a lot of maintenance, and we haven't kept up with it like we should have. But we're going to do something a little bit different next year. So this evening we're going to pull the pavers out of there, and then tomorrow I will be opening their gate up to that gate and letting them get in there and just eat up all that stuff. Actually, now that I'm saying that, I'm looking at these tomato plants, and one that hasn't produced anything yet has actually got 2 tomatoes on it, so that's pretty cool. I guess we'll get a couple tomatoes out of him today. But yeah, that thing is just overgrown, and it's got vines on it, and it's just not really great. Part of the problem is it's been right up against the side of the house, and it's just, so anyway, I'm rambling. We're going to let them get in there and eat everything that they want to eat, and it'll give them a nice little yard, and it'll keep them from walking the whole backyard all day, every day, that they've been doing the past few days, and they seem to be really enjoying. So, but I've got AT&T is supposed to be out in the next week or so to bury this fiber line that they've got back here, and as soon as it dries out, I need to mow. But all that's just to say that it's beautiful outside right now. So I'm going to let these guys out. I'm going to eat lunch, and then I guess I'm going to go make me a plan for what I'm going to do with this wall. Hopefully we can get a wall framed and installed today, and drywalled. So yay for Home Depot curbside pickup. So yeah, I guess I'm going to go eat, and we'll go get started. Things I need for Christmas: proper portable chop saw workstation and a table saw. Anybody that's watching this wants to know: table saw, chop saw workstation. All right, so some more progress going on in here. So my daughter has decided on her colors for her side of the room. That wall will be done in chalkboard paint, which we already had from when we did Power Ranger room for Drake. So if you've never used this stuff before, it goes on just like normal paint, turns it into chalkboard. Super easy. And then she's picked this darker gray that we got a little sample of to make sure she was down with colors for the other 3 walls in there. So that should be pretty simple. And I've got the wall mostly laid out down here. I've got to get it in top bar. It's a header. It's not really a header because I'm not really doing a header for this door because they don't need a header on this door because it's not bearing any load or anything like that. It's just kind of the top of the door opening for this wall. So I'll have to still get that in there, and there's a cripple that'll be above it. And button this whole wall together, and now we're ready to stand up. So super simple, super heavy. I often forget how much heavier a 2x6 is over a 2x4, but we're just about there. Alright, so I got the wall leveled. I've done the wise thing and put in my hearing protection this time. So I'll be able to hear for the next couple hours after I do this. And once again, getting out the ram set, 2.5-inch nail, blank for a handgun. They're on there. There we go. So we've already got it screwed into the top with a 3-inch screw into that beam. A big old nail into the bottom. This thing ought to stay in place pretty well. Alright, so with the wall up, secured, squared, and leveled, we've already started to get some drywall on the thing. So this time I'm using 10-foot sheets of drywall instead of the 8s that I used for the pantry here because of where that door is placed. I can put the 10-footer on there, screw it in, cut the door out for the little 9.5-inch piece that I need over there. It'll just come from those cut-offs and save me from having to buy 6 sheets of 8-foot instead of the 4 sheets of 10-foot. So I saved almost 20 bucks on the deal. So I haven't shown you any of these details, but like I was saying earlier, the wall or the ceiling does have a little bit of a slope, so there's a 3/4 of an inch gap at this end and no gap at that end. It's dead tight and had to be hammered into place there. But that's all sealed in there with 3-inch grip right structural screws. There's 4 2.5-inch ram set nails in the bottom. It's all solid, it ain't going nowhere. And fun fact, I bought a box of 3-inch screws for this job and used all but one of them building the actual wall. And ended up having to get a couple more out of the shop for the screws across the top, but that worked out great, which was cool. Alright, just like that, we have a wall, a drywall that needs a lot of screws put in it. Got to put together a patch for there. You can see the big old gap that we get. It's the same gap that we had for that wall. Because this used to be a carport, so the ceiling is slanted a little bit, so if water got on it, I guess it would run off. It's kind of my assumption on the thinking behind that. But yeah, there's a wall here. I am gonna do some more trimming and lots of screwing, and I don't know how many screws I have left, but that wall is It's almost halfway chalkboarded. So yeah, ton of progress. I'm super happy. That was like an hour and a half, 2 hours into building this and getting it all in here. So it's really cool. I'm enjoying it. Just a further reminder, I am not a carpenter, I'm not a remodeler, I'm not a house flipper, I'm not any of those things. I just am not in a financial position to pay people to do things like this. So the only logical thing to do is for me to figure it out, learn how to do it, and do it myself. And that's how I've learned to do pretty much everything I know how to do, because I couldn't afford to pay somebody else to do it. But yeah, I got a wall. Cool, huh? All right, so 2 weeks ago, this was all one room. Today is 3. How cool is that? So we have this wall up, drywalled, mudded today. It's already drying. A couple of spots that I had missed or may or may not have accidentally put a Sawzall into have been patched on the other walls. We were still gonna have to find some of that elusive texture, because it's not easy stuff to find for whatever reason. But this room will be Deacon's room. It's he got 3 big old windows. I don't know if he's gonna like that, but he got them. So that's good. I'm drying. This room will be Jayla's room. There's chalkboard paint going on the walls now. Still got to order the paint for these 2 rooms. Haven't done that yet. And then this wall is built for a pantry. So it's 2 weeks of projects done, and man, it makes a huge difference. This space, I was worried these rooms, and my wife was as well, these rooms just wouldn't really be big enough once they were finished up. But I gotta say, now that they're walls up and everything, it definitely, it feels like more than adequate amount of space. So it might just be because I'm a minimalist kind of person, I guess, and don't need a ton of space. But I really think they'll be all right with this room. These rooms, there'll be plenty of space for them. So yeah, pretty excited to be moving real quickly on this part. The first wall took us 2 days because of having to get some additional stuff that I had thought about. But this wall took us less than a day. We picked up our materials this morning. I actually did it after lunch, and then, well, it's now. Drake just finished cooking dinner with his Eat to Explore kit with my wife, and we're about to sit down and eat. And yeah, it's going great. I'm probably done for tonight, so we will talk to you in the morning. Good morning, everybody. I have really bad news. It's not morning. I actually failed to pick up my phone and record anything all day today because we had a ton to do and not a lot of time to do it, because tomorrow is Saturday and I am going back to work to well, that's another story altogether, what I have to do at work. But I digress. So if you'll notice, we got a ton done today. This wall, I'm in Deacon's room right now, the furthest room. For whatever reason, the mud that I did this over 24 hours ago now, that strip there is still not dry. It is not wet, but it's malleable. So I'm gonna let that still continue to dry. But the rest of this side of the wall is textured. This wall, or this window, had a couple of pieces of trim missing. So my circular saw, and a sheet of 3/4 inch sanded ply have fixed that one. I have, this window had to be encased, and well, we're getting to the end of the project and into the budget, so obviously we still have to do trim on these, but that casement's all sanded plywood cut with my circular saw. We got blinds up. Our flooring should be here on Tuesday. I had to make same thing for this door. Had to make a casement for this door because my mother-in-law gave us 2 doors that she had purchased for her remodel and then never used. They were just blanks, no case, no holes, no hinges, no any of that. But I have a little kit used to put all that kind of things onto a door, so I can just put hinges and doorknobs onto the door. But because it's a 2x6 wall, we had talked about buying just a pre-hung Pre-hung door to put in there, but a 2x6 pre-hung 32-inch door was just a long way out of the budget, especially when I already had that door and can just do a little bit of trim work. It looks wonderful. I'm very happy with it. And these two doors that I put in today are the best closing doors in my house by a long shot. So we got to order or pick up another AC unit for that other room. I got to take that one out and clean it because now after all the sanding and everything, it is full of dust. It's super nasty, that thing. But I know I got a, what is this, 11 foot by 7.5, so like a little bit less than 80 square foot room, and it's got an 8,000 BTU air conditioner in it. It ought to cool this room pretty well, I gotta tell you. But this side of the wall, it did get sanded. It is textured. We just haven't gone to pick up paint for it yet, but we'll get paint. I got a chalkboard paint up there because my wife can't reach. But same thing in this room. It needs paint. It needs trim. Lots of trim. Top, bottom. You know what? I made a realization today. Well, last night, talking with my wife. We've touched every room in our house this year, or in the last year, I guess, not actually completely this year, but in the last 365 days. We have done something to every single room in this house except for the front and back bathrooms, and then that's it. So this room, we took all the paneling out of, we took the built-ins out, we built 2 walls and made it a pantry and 2 bedrooms out of this single room, added 2 doors, and this is actually the old door package from here. So we have only trim here, but once again, that's all trimmed out. This room at the was the last project we did. I hate when I do that. My son just left the room and the sink is still running. I don't know what he's doing. But we built this storage system in here this year. We removed a wall that was right there. That refrigerator used to face that direction, and there was a wall on this side of it, and we hated that. So the refrigerator moved to right here. When we put this door in, there used to be a sliding glass door here, and so I added a door, or closed that in because that door wasn't working very well. We put the refrigerator there, put in this door obviously, and we had a countertop next to it. Well, that came out, the unit went in here, this wall came down, and the refrigerator went over here so it could face out, and we hooked up to water and all that good stuff. So we've done that in here this year.
Oh, that water's running because there's a paintbrush in there.
Oh, the water's running because there's paintbrush in there. This room, much like the rest of the house, still needs to be trimmed. For whatever reason, trim is just something we're struggling to get to, but at some point I'm going to go spend $250 on trim and just trim my whole house in a weekend, and that'll be a good time. But this room got a coat of paint. It got all the paneling taken down off the walls. It got this trim wall put up, or this accent wall put up last year. It's had another TV put into it this year with the shelves. But yeah, this was all a year ago. This was paneled. My wife did this. Woohoo! I can give y'all guys some dizziness. But my wife did this really nifty, I don't know what you call it, but the kids' backpacks were intended to hang there, but now they're not all in public school, so that isn't really a thing. But this all got done at the same time that our water heater was dying last year, and we were out of water while I had to order parts and figure out how to fix that thing. The hallway got painted. Not really a ton changed in here, but it did get painted. So we also did our homeschool closet, which is this hall closet here. Eventually, the wall behind this closet, which is shared with my closet, my bedroom, and my bathroom, will all get knocked out so I can pull that wall. Like, I think I figured out it was 16 inches forward so that I can have a full second bath. Our bedroom got repainted. That's all really happened in here. Nothing too crazy. That vent got taken down, and we bought a new one, and it was the wrong size, and we haven't bought another one yet. Gonna get to it. Lots of unfinished projects in my house. I'm really bad about that. But this room does have its quarter round around the top, so that's nice. I did get that done. It's not caulked, it's not sealed, but while my teenager was gone in Mexico, his room got redone, and his trim did get caulked. His room is actually finished, I do believe, except for where he's done that. But other than that, my teenager's room is this obnoxious child watching Netflix, playing video games. It's yeah, he's got did that and a black wall. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about the black wall, but it turns out pretty cool. So, and then getting to the end of the hallway is Drake's room. Now, Drake's room was a big project that we took on this year, because Drake's room is the Power Ranger room. And so let's just go around here. We got the Drake sign. We got Power Rangers. There's a pink one that's been knocked off the wall, I guess, and is not where it's supposed to be. That's a hot mess, but you get the idea. Paint, obviously. He's got a cool desk. We have the Red Ranger wall, Power Rangers bookshelves, and some cool Power Rangers art. Yeah, I love this thing. That is a vintage Mighty Morphin Power Rangers desk lamp. And then Drake has the cave down here with his TV, and he had his Xbox down there, and now it's a Roku and all that kind of thing going on for, you know, the way it is. But, and then his closet system that's specifically designed for, you know, somebody his size. Instead of, you know, it was just a normal closet originally, and everything was just kind of too big for him, and it didn't really work out. But this room, trimmed around the top at least, quarter rounds in, it just needs to be caulked and painted. So yeah, we've done a ton in this house in the last year, let alone since we moved in, but it's starting to shape up. There's still a lot to do. I did the bathroom when we first moved in, and I did a terrible job. It looks decent at best, but now I think I have some pretty positive. I have some plumbing issues in that wall, and almost all of my plumbing for the whole house is shared in this one wall right here, excluding the pipes that go through the foundation to my bedroom that are corroded to the point that water does not pass through them anymore. So that's fun, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do to solve that problem, but that's for another day. But yeah, that bathroom will eventually have to come out again so that I can replace all the plumbing behind that wall for my kitchen and that bathroom, and to tie in the other bathroom when I decide what I'm going to do with it. But yeah, I think I've rambled enough. I think you guys get the idea, and I think I've probably got enough content here to finish this video up. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.